Drunken Book Club, an official, unofficial Goosebumps podcast. I'm your in a pyramid host, being an archaeologist, Christopher the Rupel, joined with...
Is this the one with the prune juice, Sam?
No, we did that one.
The boulder chasing you, Noelia.
I hate snakes, Luis.
I thought you went with Indiana Jones.
I don't know what we're doing.
Curse of the Mummies 2.
Curse of the Mummies.
I don't need the copy of it. And today's episode is Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. Goosebumps number 6. Yeah, I'm gonna go with number 6, maybe 5. Hold on, let me just double check my math real quick.
Spider Kid.
If you don't get it right, you're not a real fan.
I'm not a real goose kid. Okay, so Welcome to Dead House, Stay Out of the Basement, Monster Bloody,
Mr. Blue.
Say Cheesy and Die. And then...
it's number 5, then.
Yeah, number 5.
Number 5, my lord, number 5.
You're putting up 4?
Yeah.
I love it.
That's the joke. Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, guys. What do you think when I say Curse of the Mummy's Tomb? What do you think this book is going to be about? As I'm the only one who read it, even though I told everybody it is available on Spotify and YouTube.
I was dying.
Please, you're not allowed to die. You have to listen to Goosebumps.
I can't.
I've been in a depressive episode, so...
Sam, that's not an excuse. Goosebumps will make you happy.
Oh my gosh. If only that were a cure.
It'll make you happy.
Yes. Everything that makes me happy should make you happy too. Come on.
Yeah, no, I've been dying. I went back to work and my body is done because I haven't been to work for 4 weeks. So I've been in a wheelchair, so I'm done.
Yeah.
So I remember, I'm guessing it has to do with the Curse and Mummies too. But the one thing you described to me as, you're like, it's like the Cars ride.
Yes, I do mention later on in my book report that this is the what's it called? Radiator Springs Racers of Goosebumps books.
So it has a very long line.
A chase.
It's it takes a little bit to get going, but once it gets going, it's really good.
Okay.
I like the whole thing.
So my thing is I remember...
I love the dark...
I love the dark ride.
Yeah, I do love it.
I love being bored.
I love the animatronics.
I love Mater.
So good.
So
my name's Weiss. I love Mater.
Without knowing anything about the Cars ride, when I first went, we
hilarious.
stood 90 minutes, 2 hours in line, and we finally get there, and it's a fucking dark ride, and I was pissed. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
I waited
she literally was like, what the fuck? And I was like, Sam, wait.
Yeah. And then it got to the actual part where I'm like, okay, I see why it's worth the wait now. And the dark ride is nice. It's nice. It's well done.
Yeah, it's well done, but it's not why I would want to go on it.
If they went, oh sorry, we're not going to do the race part, you would not spend the amount of time.
Okay, no, I agree. Without the race part, it would not be that.
It's
fun.
literally just a Fantasyland dark ride at that point.
Yeah. But first I was like, are you kidding me? And then I was like, never mind. I get the wait.
Yeah, no. When we went there, I told everybody. Juan was with us, and we told everybody. We gotta get there in the morning, and then everybody was like, no, we'll get it later.
Yeah, you have to.
We got it later.
And then you're waiting for 3 hours, and a kid's kicking you because they're on the thing they're not supposed to be hanging off of.
Dude, yeah.
You're about to punch a child.
Yeah.
At Disneyland.
I'd do it again.
That's a federal
Yeah, the only one who was upset was my mother because she was just getting tired and impatient. I love her, but I was like,
that queue is so boring.
It is. There's nothing to mess around with. There's nothing to talking to you.
You see, it's really loud, oldies.
Yes.
And just a desert background, which is cool looking, but I mean, we're used to that.
Yeah, the only good part is the main beginning, and after that it's just a bunch of
bottles it's not the Guardians Tower of Terror where there's lots of stuff to look at.
Yeah.
Cool
Once you're inside.
Yeah.
Or even any of the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Except
for Star Tours. Oh my god, Star Tours is such a boring queue.
Where we got cut by Gargamel.
Freaking Gargamel.
Mexican Gargamel.
So when we went in 2018, 2017...
Something like that.
It was around, the first time we ever went during Halloween season.
Yeah.
We went to ride Star Tours, and this dude he was an older Mexican man, and he was in a Kylo Ren costume, because it was, right before they were doing the Halloween festivity shit.
Yeah.
But he wasn't wearing the Kylo Ren mask at the time, so he looked like Mexican Gargamel.
It was not a fancy, Kylo Ren outfit either. So again, it just looked like a black robe.
Yeah.
And he was, balding too, so
literally... he looked like Mexican Gargamel.
Yeah, we're just Mexican Gargamel cut us. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's the villain from Smurfs.
Oh.
Hank Azaria.
Yeah. Hank Azaria. Yeah, Hank Azaria.
Gotcha.
Mexican Hank Azaria.
What I thought the book was going to be was the last one that we read about mummies, where there's like an elevator. Do you remember? It's like a choose your own adventure. And
Yeah, what's it called? The Diary of a Mad Mummy.
Yeah, that's all I can think of right now, honestly.
Wait, what do you think Curse of the Mummy's Tomb is about?
Well, what do I think? What the Curse of the Mummy's Tomb is? It's obviously a curse. Honestly, I'm just reverting brain to Mummy and Mummy
The
2.
Mummy.
The Mummy.
Also, fun fact: this episode is going to coincide with the re-release of The Mummy. Originally this one was going to come out a week sooner, but as soon as I saw that it was they were doing a re-release on April 26th, I was like, this episode has to come later. This episode has to come 1 week later.
Dude, I've actually been wanting to go theater so I can watch the episode 1. Hey, I love Star Wars.
I want to see episode 1. It's so much better than the new Star Wars.
Okay, well, don't get me started on that.
Because we will have a whole other episode at this point if we get him started. You know this, Chris. But
I would much rather watch Force Awakens or Last Jedi over episode 1 or 2.
I haven't seen the most recent trilogy, and I've only seen parts of the 1, 2, 3. I've seen all of 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
And
I thought me and you watched 3 together.
We watched 3 together.
Yeah.
And I've seen 1. And I've seen parts of 2.
2. I have a soft spot for 2, and y'all know the reason why, but...
Because you're dumb. No.
No, it was the last movie my tata took me to before he passed away.
Oh, jeez.
And that's fair.
And it was my first Star Wars movie, and then I learned that there was more Star Wars movies.
That's nice.
I was just saying with The Mummy, of like, I love everyone's like, what's your bisexual awakening? And everyone's like, The Mummy. And it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Okay, we're not getting into The Mummy now, but,
Mummy.
So everyone's giving their guesses here. I'm going to talk about the cover. It's a pretty decent cover, nothing to cry home about. We have the upper half of a mummy standing there staring at you with strong, judgmental red eyes. It's a cool cover, but nothing about it really stands out, making it pop for me.
Just another mummy.
Just a cool mummy, but kind of a boring cover. I think the Return of the Mummy has a better cover. Because it has a stinky mummy.
Stinky mummy.
Yeah, the Return of the Mummy, there's a sequel book to this one called The Return of the Mummy.
Like flies or something? Or...
It's got a mummy and it's got stink lines. I don't think it's supposed to be stink lines, but it looks like stink lines.
It's like an aura line, but they look like stink lines.
Yeah,
it looks like stink lines. Like,
there you go.
Oh, yeah, that's stink lines.
Those are stinky. Up. That's a stinky mummy.
Stinky mummy. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like miasma.
Yeah.
Like the stench of death and the essence of death, but it looks just stinky.
No, that's one smelly ass mummy.
He looks like a stinky cheese.
He's a stinky cheese man. Alrighty, time for the story. Gabe is spending his Christmas vacation. Oh yeah, and don't be afraid to interrupt with your notes, your jokes, your sound effects, and everything else fun.
What about a cough?
Coughs aren't fun. Blowing noses isn't fun either.
Yes.
Gabe is spending his Christmas vacation in Egypt because his parents have business to attend to there. Also, I did not write the notes for this. I took this from the Goosebumps wiki because I was like, I'm short on time. I have to fucking steal this.
Yeah, I got it.
Valid.
While staying in their hotel in Al-Jizah, Gabe's parents receive an emergency phone call and have to rush to Alexandria. Rather than going with his parents, Gabe is given the option to stay with his Uncle Ben, who is a scientist investigating pyramids in Cairo.
Right.
Gabe's parents call Uncle Ben and leave.
Does he die?
What? No.
Hey, he's Uncle Ben.
Oh my god.
It's a canon event.
This is like
his name is not Peter Parker.
Yeah, his name isn't Peter.
But every Uncle Ben has to pass.
No, or he makes delicious rice.
Yeah, duh.
Oh, that's true. This might be that Ben.
He just makes rice.
No, this Uncle Ben just is a scientist.
He engineers rice.
Canon event.
While Gabe waits for his uncle to arrive, he clutches his good luck charm, the Summoner, a mummy's hand that he bought a few years ago at a garage sale.
Oh, God.
See, I love at a garage sale.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. It's just this tiny mummy hand that he bought at a garage sale.
I just imagine it like on a table next to like a Furby and like a fucking like, I don't know, like a chia pet but with none of the chia, like the bulb.
It's just the chia pot.
Yeah, just the chia pot, and then they're like, "How much do you want for the desiccated mummy hand?" $5. I'll give you 3. Deal.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the Treehouse of Horrors.
Yeah, the monkey paw.
Monkey paw. Yeah, that's all I'm looking.
A fun fact about that one. I think I've said this before, but they originally wanted to end it where like each time it like closed, it would end with being the middle finger being the last finger, which they couldn't do that obviously.
Oh, that would be great.
So Uncle Ben and his daughter Sari arrive. Also, Uncle Ben is disguised as a mummy.
What?
to scare Gabe.
See,
and it's hilarious.
I'm just thinking, like, in the hotel, like, he's walking in the hotel, and they're just
yeah, they're just like, it's like, what's this guy doing?
He's like, I'm here to pick up my nephew. Okay, cool.
I'm just here to scare my nephew.
There's
fucking weirdo.
Everybody, all the locals, just Anglo guy.
Fucking white people.
Actually, they are part Egyptian. They are actually Egyptian.
Never mind.
So yeah,
I take back my racism.
This is like the first book with actual, not like confirmed, not white people.
There you
as
go.
the main characters.
Neat.
So
they still mock him though.
Yeah, they still mock him. I was like, fucking American Egyptian over here. Ben informs Gabe that his archaeologist team has discovered underground tunnels beneath the pyramid. But he also says that the tunnels would be too dangerous for Gabe to explore alone.
Oh no.
That's what Gabe does.
Actually, he doesn't. The next day, Ben and the children go to the pyramid. While preparing to enter the pyramid, Ben warns the kids that his team may have unleashed an ancient curse by exploring the pyramid.
Just like, hey, we're going. We're still going.
There may be a curse, but don't worry.
OSHA violation? Is this a work hazard?
It's not America, so therefore, OSHA doesn't apply.
Actually, curses aren't covered by OSHA.
That makes sense, honestly.
Yeah, sorry,
not covered by
supernatural curses.
Either.
Yeah, sadly.
Works of God.
Now I'm like...
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry,
this of gods.
This follows under act of a god?
Yeah, exactly.
Can't do anything, that's fair.
Dang it.
The railing, though.
Yeah.
The railing classics.
I'm dying on that.
Armed with flashlights, the 3 relatives enter the pyramid and walk for a while. The trio makes their way through a tight corridor to a large room. Ahmed and various other members of Ben's team are already there. While Ben is distracted, Sari suggests to Gabe that they go exploring on their own. Gabe is reluctant, but Sari insists, confidently saying that they won't get lost.
Sari teaches him the word for pussy in Egyptian, as in, Gabe, stop being a pussy and do it.
Yeah. She is learning a little bit of Egyptian, so she could.
Yeah.
Gabe follows Sari into the tunnels, but Sari quickly vanishes from his view. Convinced that he's being pranked, Gabe continues walking. When Gabe enters a small room, Sari scares him and starts to laugh, causing Uncle Ben to appear. Ben joins Sari in laughter.
Fucking bitch.
Look at this stupid loser.
Yeah, just imagine he's so like, and then everybody just
what
like...
if that would be you?
Yeah, he's a cool uncle.
With your nephew?
Yeah.
Alright, so far this uncle is chill. He doesn't need to die.
Yeah.
He's fine.
He's a cool deal.
Yeah.
The next morning during breakfast, Ben receives a phone call. Apparently, almost all of Ben's workers have become ill, so he goes and visits them. Actually, I think it was only 2, not all of them.
All of them that is the whole team of 2.
Yeah, it's just a team of 2.
I gotta say, it was like my former work team where it's just like me and my one coworker where it's like all our team is out and it's like all 2 of us.
Though the kids were warned to stay in the hotel, Gabe proposes that they go to the nearby museum by themselves. The kids go to the museum and wander through it. After a few minutes, Ahmed appears. They try to avoid him, but he's too fast. He says that Ben told him to take the kids back to their room in the hotel. Ahmed takes the kids to his car.
What, these freaking adults and... Never mind.
He's very stranger danger.
Mm-hmm.
But he starts driving in the opposite direction of the hotel.
I want to get up.
Get out!
Gabe realizes that Ahmed is kidnapping them. Gabe warns Sari, and the 2 sprint out of the car.
I need an adult.
Yeah, after asking a cab driver for help, the duo... Actually, it's really hilarious. They're like lost for a little bit, and they're like freaking out, and they're like, oh, look, there's a taxi. Let's get in and just ask him to take us to the hotel. And like, the cab driver just starts laughing hysterically.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what's so funny? What's going on? Is he going to try to kidnap us? And he's like, hotel! And like, he points to their hotel right there.
Oh my gosh. That's kind of funny.
Stupid Americans.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at least a fair reason to laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, you dumb fucking kids.
Yeah.
I would have drove them anyways, so...
Drove them around the block.
Exactly.
The duo makes it back to the hotel and stay in their room until Ben arrives, which is almost instantaneous. When he does, the kids tell him what happened. Ben says that he has to return to the pyramid to continue his exploration.
I know you just got kidnapped, but
we have to fucking go.
Are you not going to report him? Nah.
For safety, Ben takes Gabe and Sari with him to the chamber.
That's safer.
By themselves or with an adult?
True.
Yeah.
I'm just saying...
A few minutes after they enter the pyramid, Gabe stops to tie his shoes. And first, he cannot keep his shoes tied for the life of him. This is not the first time his shoes are untied.
It just happens more.
This
just
happens
like me.
multiple fucking times.
And there's no, reason. It just
He's
happens.
just apparently sucks at tying his shoes.
Okay.
Double knot it. That is the key. That is
he did double knot it and it still came loose.
That is my one pair of shoes. You know those blue and green ones?
Yeah.
We'll do that. I will, double knot it. And then, 5 minutes later, it's I'm just gonna... What if I trip you?
That was a real mummy's curse.
That was a real curse.
Oh my goodness.
Can't tie shoe.
So I've just been cursed this whole time, is what you're telling me?
Yeah. Yeah, I have only one pair of shoes with laces, and I laugh at the fact that Sam's shoes get untied because I just keep them tied all the time and just slip them off and slip them back on. I don't retie my shoes. I keep them tied all the time.
Well, my boots
don't know why.
My boots don't tend to have that problem.
Yeah.
And the new ones so far have not, knock on wood.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna preemptively...
You're literally sitting next to a door that's made of wood. Yes, who is it?
ASMR.
You're literally sitting next to a table made of wood. You've knocked enough. That's recycled material right there.
That's why I knocked on this.
Yeah.
Because I know this isn't wood.
Yeah. So, when he looks up, he sees that Uncle Ben and Sari have disappeared. After searching for a while, the floor cracks beneath Gabe and he falls through, landing in a big room filled with mummy preparation tools.
Oh, I hate that.
Sari appears in the room and she says she also got lost.
See, all I can think of is she just popped in there, just an NPC where you're like, where'd they go? And then they're right behind you and they're like...
What is this, the Watson from that Sherlock Holmes game?
Yeah, exactly. Just think I've lost somebody's just right there.
Yeah. The two kids call Uncle Ben via a pager that Ben provided with them earlier. A few seconds after Sari calls her father, the kids see a light coming through the tunnel. The kids hope that Ben has arrived, but the light turns out to be coming from Ahmed, who is carrying a torch.
He came back to kidnap you guys, I guess.
Ahmed says that he warned Ben about a curse, but Ben didn't believe him. He then says that the kids violated the sacred chamber of an ancient Egyptian princess named Kala, and because of that, they must die.
Oh, okay.
He grabs a knife and starts approaching the kids.
Lord.
But Ben suddenly appears and tries to stop him. Ahmed swings his torch at Ben and hits him in the head, knocking him unconscious. Ahmed heaves the torch across the room, and it falls into the room's tar pits. The tar starts burning.
Oh, great.
The kids watch helplessly as Ahmed closes Ben's body in a sarcophagus, and he puts the kids in a separate sarcophagus.
Oh my goodness.
Two for...
What's with the knife then? Gee.
Well, he's got to threaten them, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess so.
Luckily, Egyptians built hidden escape hatches into their coffins to allow the souls of the deceased to escape. So the three relatives are able to escape while Ahmed is distracted.
Fucking magician-ass, stage magician-ass fake panel back there.
Where do you think they got it from? The trio tries to exit, but they are stopped by Ahmed, who threatens them with his dagger. He forces them to walk toward the tar pits. Ahmed tells Ben and the kids that they'll have to jump into the pit. Terrified, Gabe pulls out the mummy's hand from his pockets.
Oh!
When Ahmed sees it, he recognizes it as the hand of the priestess. All of the mummies in the room come alive and begin surrounding Ahmed. Some of the mummies grab him and try to throw him into the pit.
Oh my goodness.
Gabe looks away. However, when he looks back, he sees that the mummies have returned to their original spots and Ahmed is running away in fear. Just a trail of fear piss following him.
Like a rat.
Yeah. Relieved, Ben and the children go back to their hotel room.
Relieved.
Gabe pulls out the mummy's hand and pretends he's summoning ancient spirits. He is startled to hear a knock on the door, which he suspects to be a mummy. When he opens the door, Gabe sees his parents who are back from Alexandria.
Yay!
Bump, 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 bump.
So he just kept the hand.
Yeah, it was his hand. He got it at the garage sale.
Garage sale, fair and square.
It was his hand, Mr. Krabs.
He was number one.
Oh, priestess.
I also love how he can identify just by a hand. He's like, that's the priestess's hand.
Yeah. That's the priestess's hand.
I don't think I can recognize... a hand by itself.
It was a secret hand job hand.
Like
That's why
it was like this.
That's where all the mummies knew it was her.
They even embalmed her with something in there to hold it, so
it was supposed to be holding a scepter, but it fell out.
like any doll that has something that you're supposed to hold, it just. It's like a Lego where it's open like this.
You just lose it immediately. Alrighty, so here's some of my notes for you guys. Chris, drop a sixth song from 1993. Oh. Because it's time for random pop culture items in this book.
Ooh.
Go ahead and check for me, but I'm pretty sure it's 93 when this one came out.
Ooh. Wait, what?
I'm pretty sure this book came out in 93.
That's the year I was born.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. I'm not going to argue. I know it's true. Just waiting for Sam to verify me.
Did I just talk myself?
93, you're right.
Yeah, of course I'm right. This is only the 5th book in the series. Of course it's only 93. So here's the random pop culture references. Silly Putty, National Geographic. Indiana Jones, Game Boy.
Game Boy.
New Coke and Classic Coke. CNN. Super Mario Land. The Super Nintendo. Nintendo.
Dang.
Tetris. Scrabble. Frosted Flakes. And Tony the Tiger.
They had a field day with Nintendo products on that one.
Also, there is a big old error in this story, by the way, guys, because Gabe has a Game Boy, and he complained that last time Sari visited or whatever, they played Super Mario Land on the Super Nintendo. Mm-hmm. That's a Game Boy game.
Ooh.
RL, you got it wrong.
Wow. Didn't even do his research.
30 years... have to answer for 30 years of mistakes.
It's Super Mario.
They edited that in the
it's Super Mario World
for the Super Nintendo. Yes. Yeah, because he complains that he only has a regular Nintendo, not a Super Nintendo.
Can you imagine that being like your joke though, like run-on joke every time you, as a famous author, go out to meet and greet or whatever?
Just there's at least one person be like, Super Mario Land came out on the Game Boy. Of course, Gabe played it, dumbass.
Yeah, just like start putting randomly, obviously wrong games. Sprinkled in there.
Yeah. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog for the Game Boy Color.
Super Dave Land or something like that.
Super Dave Land? What is this fucking...
Smiling Friends?
Smiling Friends?
It's Dave.
There you go.
Alright, some more notes. Do Gabe's parents hate him? So this is in reference to early in the book, they're visiting the pyramids before they visit their hotel room. Mm-hmm. And they're like... And Gabe's like, I'm really thirsty. And they just ignore him. And they're just like, look at the pyramids. Aren't they cool, Gabe? He's like, I'm thirsty. It is hot.
All I can think of is like the SpongeBob thing as he's like looking with like the water.
Please, Sandy.
Yeah.
Water.
I just feel like this is like... R.L. Stine just finally just admitting his parents are crap. This is exactly what he felt.
He does what all authors do. Transmit their trauma into art.
Yeah.
Why does this book have a million bad dad jokes? Now, I know R.L. really did write this one. Yeah, because there's a lot of really bad dad jokes. I was going to write them down, but I'm like, no, there's terrible.
Did he have a secret love child?
What?
Dun dun dun.
What's this to do with dad jokes?
Because he became a dad.
He was already a dad.
Oh.
He's 52!
I don't
or he's
know,
like 50 at this point.
I don't know if he has kids.
He had sex.
All I can think of is like R.L. Stine doesn't make love. He fucks.
That's my joke. Yeah, he has a son named Matt by this point, and his son's like 12, I think. Was these books that came out?
I don't know your life.
Maybe he just hates Matt.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh, my son brought up this time he was thirsty.
I mean, he did base a lot of like different stories on like things his son did. Like Monster Blood is based on like he got Gak on the carpet. He was like, "You little shit," but he was like, "You know what? You little shit. I like this idea." And then like when his son got a mask stuck on his head, he wrote the haunted mask based around that.
See, whenever I think of that, I still think of the Patton Oswalt stand-up skit.
Yeah,
where he took his like 5-year-old daughter or something like that to a school like haunted house. So it's like fun. It's just kind of like the ooh spooky, and like he got out of like into the hallway. And he's like, the scariest thing was with the lights off. This like 5-year-old kid with an oversized like mask that was tilted like sideways, ambling down the hallway. He's like, that is scarier than anything I've seen in the haunted house.
Yeah, that would freak me out.
Gabe needs Velcro or slip-on shoes. Because his shoes get
Or even just tuck them into his shoes itself.
Yeah, that's what I did for the longest time, too.
I mean, that's what I do.
Sari is a pretty developed character. We know that she goes to a boarding school, so she must be acting up to get attention from her dad. And the way she treats Gabe feels appropriate as she thinks of him as like a little brother, as she's more mature and independent compared to the very childish Gabe.
That would make sense.
Story. Egypt should be cold if it's around Christmas. It should be 73 to 64 degrees. I was pointing this out because they kept saying it's super hot out.
Wouldn't it be closer to summer, though? Because they're at the equator.
No, they're not. Egypt is above the equator.
Oh, yeah, it is. I'm tired.
Learn your geography.
I don't know geography.
I love history and geography.
I know it's still not...
Name the 16th president.
I didn't even know if Denmark was a country.
Name the 16th president.
You didn't know Denmark was a country?
I didn't know if...
Name the 16th
I had to
president.
Google it the other day.
I think we have deeper worries, Chris.
No one cares about Denmark.
Aw.
Sorry, Danes.
The entire Denmark.
I had no idea what you're referencing.
Name the 16th president. Come on, people.
Is that Lincoln?
No.
That is Lincoln.
Theodore
Okay.
Roosevelt.
That's way off. It's Lincoln. I gave you guys a softball.
Did it.
He's 16th? I
Yes.
thought he was a 15th.
Oh my god.
Who was the 15th president?
Your mom.
Mom sold she's the 15th president of the United
Yeah.
States.
Damn.
And she was a man.
Mom so ugly.
And white.
Mom so ugly she was able to become the 16th president or the 15th president of the United States.
As an old white man.
Gotta give this one some credit. The fear of being lost in a land that you don't know the language of and nearly being abducted is pretty thrilling. It's pretty good scares there.
Made me think of the Millionaire book.
I'm sorry, when you said he pulled out his dagger, I just imagined it's like a little tiny dagger. It's like, yeah, it wasn't even like a curved knife or like a big blade. It's just like a small little shank.
Is Gabe...
Like a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
It's a little Swiss Army knife. Is Gabe one of the worst Goose kids? He feels like a younger sibling in a later Goosebumps book. They're there to be useless until he brings up Chekhov's dismembered hand. So Gabe is useless.
I will say, if we're including the Choose Your Own Adventures, still better than Denny.
Yeah, still better than Denny. But no, I'm talking about regular Goose kids.
Because fuck Denny.
Listen to that episode from 2 weeks ago, guys. Alrighty, guys. So here's my random question time, unless you guys have any questions based around this book.
Now go for it.
What are your thoughts on mummies?
I was the Egypt. I was really into ancient Egypt stuff as a kid.
I'm asking about mummies. I don't care about ancient shit.
I thought it was honestly cool, and it's kind of like the most annoying thing to me is the fact that when British people were going into and colonizing the shit out of everything and taking everything, and then they took mummies, and then they're like, let's snort them.
Let's snort it.
And there's a reason there's a paint called Mummy Brown.
What the hell?
Back in the day, there was a paint known as Mummy Brown because it was made from mummy.
Oh.
What the fuck, Victorians? What the fuck?
I'm actually really scared of mummies.
Yeah.
They terrify me. Like
Mummies
the
are scary.
idea of taking someone's insides outsies, that's pretty gross.
Damn
I don't like it.
colonizations.
Weez, what are your thoughts on mummies?
What are my thoughts on colonization? Just kidding.
Mummies! We can talk about that.
I
how the
never
Egyptians
was
colonized later.
I never was afraid of mummies. Like,
I'm not asking if you're afraid. I just want your thoughts on mummies.
on mummies? Well, that's what I'm saying. I was never afraid of mummies, so I never had like a bad thought about them. I always thought they were just kind of weird.
You're just like, man, fuck mummies.
yeah, honestly, like, I didn't care about them, but I didn't hate them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
They're just there.
They're just there. And if they were in like a TV show, a cartoon or something like that, it's like, mummy.
Yeah, Weiss was watching Tuttenstein. He was like, I love this shit.
So I actually kind of enjoyed it, but that's also because, again, I was the ancient Egypt
Well,
kid.
yeah, I like Tuttenstein as well, but I liked Kenny the Shark more.
See, I liked it because of the Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
Because I was one of those that...
By the way, if you guys don't know, we're talking about a really random-ass cartoon from Discovery Kids, or whatever it was.
I think it was Discovery Kids.
Yeah. Freaking
And it was
Tuttenstein and fucking Kenny the Shark.
And Tuttenstein was about, like, a kid emperor that was, like, a little shithead.
Yeah,
he's
it was King Tut Kid or whatever.
Yeah, and he's like, I am King Tut, and I am, listen to me. And
oh my gosh.
And then Black Girl was like,
yeah, fuck you, Tut, you're not the boss of me.
You're not the boss.
And the cat's like, I'm generic Salem. Heh.
I want to believe that you guys are joshing me.
No, that's a real show.
It exists.
And then there was a show called Kenny the Shark where this girl adopted a shark and they now live together and he doesn't need water or anything.
Oh my god.
And he always wants to eat seals.
You guys are unlocking like old memories. Like I remember watching a couple episodes of these things, but not like.
I was always excited to watch those two.
All I can think of is a thing of, like, the TikTok trend right now of, like, what's something that a lot of things get wrong, but only you care about it.
Oh yeah, movies.
And one of it was with Anubis. He's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. He's not supposed to be an evil.
He's basically the ferryman.
I remember watching a movie, I can't remember what the hell it's called, but it was about people going into a pyramid. It was like one of those like found footage movies, like back in like 2000 something that were all doing it. We were watching it, and constantly there was like an Anubis figure with like a giant like axe or something, just out there trying to kill these people, just like turning a corner and stuff like that. And it was the most fun, like the most hilarious looking CGI. We just kept laughing at it because it just looked like a weird looking dog. But yeah, no, that's like one of those things that
the pyramid.
The pyramid, that's the one.
I was like, I think it's the pyramid, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Would you ever want to go to Egypt?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I'm kind of like, I feel like nowadays it's like, whatever, you know?
Yeah. It's one of those, like, if it was paid for, or, like, I was rich enough that I could do it and not have to worry about prices and, like, could hire a bunch of people to do a lot of shit so I didn't have to walk around.
Yeah.
But, like, no, if I got to go anywhere in the world, I'd probably go to a couple of other places before Egypt, if I'm being honest.
I agree.
I just don't feel confident because of getting swindled.
Yeah, they have really bad, like, at the pyramids, they have really bad, like, people being like, let me take your picture, that kind of thing.
Let me take a picture. Hey, you gotta go over here.
And those, like, fake camel rides and shit.
Yeah.
So,
there's some really sketchy stuff there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I feel like historical value. I feel like, I hate to say it, I'd rather just visit a museum.
No, that's fair.
With Egypt stuff.
I would love to go to Egypt and go to, like, one of their museums.
Yeah,
and have their shit. Like, versus, like, British going, look at all the stuff we have.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Do you have a favorite mummy movie?
The Mummy.
Under Wraps.
Under Wraps.
Come on.
Oh yeah, that one was pretty good.
That's my impression of the Mummy from Under Wraps. Harold the Mummy.
Yes, Harold. One of my favorite Halloween movies. It's great.
I stand by mine.
The Mummy.
It's The Mummy. Like Brendan Fraser.
What's it called? The one story from Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, Lot 249 with Steve Buscemi and Christian Slater, where there's a mummy.
Oh my god.
I'm unlocking another one for you.
See, all I can think of is, again, like another fucking TikTok sound, but it was like the wild berry, and they're like, what a basic bitch. Okay, you want to know the truth? You want to know the truth? And it's like this obscure, like a Spider-Man Pop-Tart. Look it up.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like with Chris.
So we already have one with Noelia on and I think we have Lisa's answer for this as well, of, are mummies scary?
I feel like not inherently.
I think they are, because they're like I feel like a mummy, like I'm talking about like a come-to-life mummy, not like an actual like...
Okay, come-to-life mummy, yes.
Yeah, because like they have like magic powers and shit.
I was gonna say, like, a mummy in like a museum or in a pyramid or anything like that? No, because it's a corpse, like...
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go to a gravesite and be like, ah! Ah! Ah!
Woo!
But if something is moving towards me that was once dead and is now moving, that is terrifying.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. I'll put it in perspective.
And here's my final question to you guys. Because this is mentioned a lot in the book of like people dressing up as mummies. Have you actually ever seen anyone dress up as a mummy for Halloween or for a costume party?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think I have either. Yeah.
Not even the toilet paper ones, you know?
Maybe one year I'll have to do that.
I did do a toilet paper wedding dress. That was a thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, off topic.
No, on topic.
On topic because we were talking about TP.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking, like, I've seen it done really creatively.
Yeah.
And, like,
Excuse me.
one thing that I thought was creative, weirdly enough, was Monster High, of how they did Cleo's wraps. Of they did it like a leggings and, like, a fashion thing. They worked it into her design without it being, like, looking like she's just like, and I am wearing toilet paper on my arms.
And then we have the CeeLo green.
Actually, it's Keegan.
Well, now
it was CeeLo Green, and then
Keegan.
became Keegan.
Yeah. Well, he did it more times than CeeLo did.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You're right.
CeeLo was only there for the first one.
That's true.
Alrighty. So time for the final segment before my book report. What inspired the Stein? Well, let's get the obvious one out of the room. The movie The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb may have been an inspiration to at least the title of this one. Story-wise, there's no one mummy movie or story I would compare this to, in all honesty, because it's not like any of those mummy stories. Maybe the short story Lot number 249 by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, because it's an early example of a mummy coming to life and being used for dastardly deeds, much like what Ahmed wants to do. Let's be more reasonable here. Stein was more than likely inspired by the Universal mummy movies of the 30s and 40s and the Hammer mummy movies of the 60s.
That's kind of what I was thinking was probably...
More than likely, those are what inspired Mr. Stein.
Yeah. But also a lot of mummy movies tend to have the motif of, like, the researcher versus the treasure hunter.
Yeah.
And that also seems to be part of it, too. In a sense. Like, not all of it, but... Yeah. The whole, like... Yeah. The good versus evil.
Yeah. Alrighty, so any final thoughts before I go into my book report?
I see what you mean of it kind of doing the cars right of like, okay, we're just going around, we're just doing like...
Yeah, we're going to visit this.
Ooh, jump scare, it's just Ben being a dick.
Ben being funny.
Then it's like, oh yeah, hey.
Almost getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
Being lost. Oh my god, Uncle Ben, are you okay?
Yeah, almost being stuffed in a sarcophagus.
No, they did get stuffed into a sarcophagus.
Or, like, left to die, like, almost dying.
Sorry, as R.L. Stein put it, coffin, mummy cases. Because I don't think he knew how to spell sarcophagus.
That's cute, but understandable.
Yes. The sarcophagus is literally, it's spelled the way it sounds. Sarcophagus. Sarcophagus.
I thought it was a G-U-S. Like a...
Did I say G-U-S? Wait, what?
Hooked on phonics has destroyed my life, that's all I'll say.
Speaking of phonics, we're talking about mummies and I started realizing that I remember in elementary school I learned hieroglyphics.
I remember kind of doing the same thing of like where they were like, this stands for A, this stands for...
Yeah.
And I feel like it was probably half bullshit, like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably more like...
Because there's no letter system, it's just... Each picture is a word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a symbol.
I figured it was closer to like more, for lack of a better term, like modern day like Japanese and Chinese, where certain things mean certain things.
Yeah.
But it might not necessarily be a one-to-one. Like it might be bird, but it's not bird.
Yeah.
It can be, there's more to it than that.
Alright, time for my book report. I don't know why I'd never call it the book report until now. This one is actually, before I even get into the book report, I actually had a drink. I didn't make it before this episode, but I did have a drink idea for this one. I had two different drink ideas. Because New Coke was mentioned, I was like, a rum and Coke.
There you go.
But my other one was going to be called the Blood of the Nile. Because I figured, curses and Nile. So it would be a Hawaiian or tropical punch Kool-Aid, some kind of red tropical punch drink.
Yeah.
Is your base. Then you want to add a little bit of rum in there, a little bit of lime juice, and then you want to top it off with Sour Patch Kids, only red ones though, gummy frogs, and if you can find some other gummy animals that match the plagues of Egypt.
Yeah, it just took me a sec with the fucking Sour Patch Kids.
Yep.
I would have called it Soltec Sour Shot, something like that.
See, I would have done like...
Because you said Nile, and Soltec is the god of the Nile.
Isn't that Sobek?
Sobek.
I'm like, Soltec? Are you...
There's another one with name Soltec.
I don't think there's a Soltec.
No.
I'm looking it up now.
No, but it is Sobek, but you are right. It's Sobek.
No. I'm going with Christianity.
The first thing I get is Soltec
Yes.
Easel. It's an art supply store in West Valley in Utah.
Yeah, Weeze's favorite store. He goes there all the time.
Definitely. That's exactly why it's in my head.
They're very artistic in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first thing I get of it is Sobek.
Yeah.
And then Egypt, partners of Solitech, which I think is like a solar company.
Oh my gosh.
There's no Soltec.
What the hell did that come from, though? Nah, it doesn't matter.
That's just your dumbass thinking something.
I'm tired. Let me look.
But yeah, the curse of the Nile, if you would. So drink up your red blood-like drink with some bugs and kids in there, or not bugs, but frogs, gummy frogs, and gummy and Sour Patch Kids.
Now I want to watch Prince of Egypt.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
Alrighty, but my book reports. This one is a real mixed bag. It's filled to the brim with scary moments and has a great setting for a Goosebumps book. I mean, who doesn't love Egypt? But it also has one of the worst goose kids with Gabe, who is super useless and always having his shoes untied. But we also have Sari, who's a pretty interesting character when you look at how she's in a boarding school and all that other, how she's rambunctious and a bit of a troublemaker. Because she probably feels neglected by her always busy father, and her mom is dead, so, hey, mommy, daddy issues here. But, you don't find out that she's half orphan until the next book. Half orphan.
Halfway there. Now to finish it.
Yeah. Also, it takes a bit of time to get get the action rolling in this one, but once you get to it, it's nonstop thrill ride. It's the Radiator Springs Racers of Goosebumps, as I mentioned earlier. Sam ruined that one for me earlier. While I really enjoyed the later parts of the book, it can be a bit of a slog to get there, and that's why I'm giving Curse of the Mummy's Tomb 3 mummy handjobs out of 5. Alrighty, that's the episode, guys. As always, well, not as always, I just started doing this last episode. Make sure to follow the link tree down below to find all of our links and stuff. It's down there. Go look at us on our socials. Find us on Fiverr or Pingers. I can't remember the other one.
Look at it!
Look at it! Look at it! You know, look at all that stuff. But I do give a shout out to our Patreon at patreon.com/Drunken Book Club because, hey, we have a patron there who gets a shout out every episode. Trey.
Go harmonize it, guys.
Get out.
I don't think that was well harmonized.
Not harmonized at all.
Don't lie about that, Weiss.
But hey, what's up? As about to say, and if you want to become a patron, it's $1 a month. You get a shout out every month, every episode, as long as I remember, and you get bonus content every week on there. So hey, check it out. So that's everything. Let's walk like an Egyptian out of here. I'm not putting that song at the end. I've already used that one. I've got a song. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm gonna put one of those songs from The Mummy.